you're identified with this, but what happens if you take the opposite of that and you start to blend it together? You're going to become more complete. So my take on astrology is it's a very big subject, discipline, and there's many, many ways to use it. The way in which a lot of people use it is very superstition based and is very dogmatic in that you're a Scorpio, therefore you're going to behave like a Scorpio, therefore you're going to deeply identify as all the traits packaged up with that archetypal energy, and you're going to become more like that, and you're going to essentially use that as an excuse to be like that. Which, like, don't get me the wrong way, like, I love a wide variety of personality typing systems and archetypal systems. I find them very interesting, very useful. But what I think the most mature use of astrology is to use it as an archetypal map that tells you maybe where you start or what your tendencies are, and then use that map to complete yourself. That is, you're identified with this, but what happens if you take the opposite of that and you start to blend it together? You're going to become more complete. And so if you're fire, cool, let's bring in your water. If you're earth, let's bring in your air, etc. So to me, it's like an alchemical system that can guide you to completeness. And that's the same for a lot of things. And I think people use them in a really immature way, which is to use them as a reinforcement of I already am how I am. So like human design would be another classical one of like, I'm a projector, so I can't do anything unless someone invites me. It's like, before you knew that, I bet you used to do more stuff and be less passive. And so I'm not saying there isn't elements of truth and elements of value in any typology system, but there's also a massive value in using a system to hack yourself and become everything, because a higher truth than I'm a Cancerian, which means I like to stay at home and I'm really sensitive to criticism, which is all really true, but that's very it's like a very woman's weekly level of like using astrology. And a more powerful thing is to go, yes, I have these tendencies, and if Capricorn is my polar opposite of that sun sign, when I start to blend my Cancerian with my Capricorn, I become more like my full self. And so that to me is any system that we're going to use about understanding our personality or our type is great. That's given me a starting point. How do I use this to hack my limitations and become everything, become complete?